This video is going to go over the 5 best weapons to use after the Warzone Season 4 update takes place. Now the update's not happened just yet, but we're going to predict some things and what weapon adjustments are going to happen. But if you enjoy weapon stat breakdowns, weapon comparisons and overall tips and tricks, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and click that link in the description and subscribe to our second channel. We do post extra content over there as well. But a few changes I can predict that is going to take place. First of all, I do think they will make another nerf to the CR56 AMAX, and the reason for this is that the gun is still widely used amongst most players. And if you look at the usage overall of all the long-range assault rifle weapons, the AMAX is still the top weapon up there, and it's been there for a long time now, so I do think they'll still nerf this weapon one more time. Also on top of that, I do think they'll make some adjustments to the Cold War MP5 and make the TTK a bit longer on that weapon. I know the recoil makes it difficult to manage, but it is a really fast killing SMG. And then lastly, I do think they'll make some adjustments to the barrel attachments on the Cold War assault rifles, helping them reduce recoil as well as helping with bullet velocity and damage range. I think will be a good change to the Cold War assault rifles, and I think that will bring them back into the mix. So first we have the CR98 sniper rifle, and this gun has not been touched since it's been added into Warzone, and it's been the most dominant sniper in the game, especially recently. So like I said, I don't think this is going to change much. So for the best class setup for the CR98, you want to use the mono suppressor for the sound suppression as well as the damage range. Then for the barrel, you do want to use the 27.6-inch barrel, which is the longest barrel for the CR98. Then you do want to use the tac laser for the faster ADS time. It also gives you aiming stability as well, which a lot of people actually look over when it comes to sniper rifles, and I do think is very important. Then for the optic, I actually use the sniper scope. It gives you a slightly faster ADS than the variable zoom scope, and you don't really need that extra zoom in my opinion, especially with the CR98. You're going to be more aggressive. And then lastly, for the stock, you could use the precision comb or the sport comb. Personally and recently, I've been using the sport comb way more often than the precision comb, but both are great options. The precision comb is going to give you better aiming stability so you can land shots really quickly, but the sport comb is going to give you that faster ADS time. So I think this is the best class setup for the CR98 at the moment. At number 4, we have a gun that is not really so popular right now, but some people are using this gun, and it's the LC10. Now the reason why it's so good inside Warzone is that it's super accurate and it has a really good headshot multiplier. And like I said, I do think the Cold War MP5 might get a nerf within this update because it's the only gun that kills super quick when it comes to the Cold War SMGs. So I do think they'll try and balance out a little bit. And I don't think they'll actually touch the LC10 when it comes to weapon balancing, because I do think this gun is pretty balanced because of its headshot multiplier. So it doesn't have the best TTK, but if you do land headshots, you can get a really good TTK with this gun. For the best class setup, you do want to use a sound suppressor. This gives you overall better mobility, and I do tend to use this suppressor when it comes to SMGs for Cold War weapons. You can go for the agency if you're running this as sniper support, but personally I like to run this gun with an assault rifle, so the sound suppressor, for my opinion, is the best option. When it comes to the barrel, I actually use the task force barrel, and the main reason for this is for the bonus and strafing speeds. You want your SMG to move as fast as possible inside Warzone. I think that's really important, and I don't really care too much about the cons to recoil. And the reason for that is this gun is already very accurate, so having a bit of a con to recoil is not really going to hurt all that much. And then the bonus to damage range and bullet velocity is just an extra bonus really. You don't really need it on an SMG, but if it's there it helps. Then I actually go for the SAS combat stock. Now, partly the reason is because this blueprint looks sick with the stock attached, but also this does give you a bonus to your firing movement speed as well as your ADS firing movement speeds. So it's going to help a lot with that strafing speed, and again, like I said, you do want the fastest movement. Then you do want to go for the 55 round mags. Again, the blueprint makes it look cool, but that's not the reason why we're choosing this attachment. This is the largest magazine attachment for the LC10, and you do need that for Warzone. Now for the LC10, the one I've been enjoying the most is actually the Serpent Wrap. I feel like this works the best on this gun. It already has a pretty quick ADS, but you do need to ADS as fast as possible with this gun because, like I said, it doesn't have the best TTK, and you want to ADS super quick so you can land those headshots as quick as you possibly can. But like I said, the steady aim laser is great for hipfire accuracy, and the Tiger Team Spotlight does also help with your movement speeds as well. The next and most balanced SMG currently in the game has to be the Bullfrog. They made some slight changes to this gun, but is still one of the more dominant SMGs in the game. For the best class setup on the Bullfrog, it's very similar to our LC10 build. You're going to want to use a sound suppressor. Like I said, you want the best movement when it comes to your SMGs, and the sound suppressor is going to give you that, as well as bullet velocity bonuses. Then for the barrel, you can use the Task Force barrel once again for that strafe speed bonus. This is going to help significantly whilst you're firing and strafing. Then for the stock, I do choose the skeletal stock in this case. Like I said, the PKM stock does move a little bit quicker, but with the Bullfrog, I do find that the skeletal stock works a little bit better for me, but like I said, either or are great options. Then for the ammunition attachment, I do choose the 65 round mags, and that's so I can get a little bit more in terms of ammo capacity, but it does not hurt your ADS times. And then lastly, for the Bullfrog, I do actually like to use the Tiger Teeth Spotlight, and I do think this works really well on the Bullfrog specifically. And none of these attachments actually hurt your ADS time, so you don't really need the Serpent Wrap for this one. But like I said, the Bullfrog has a great TTK when you're landing only body shots, and it also has a great headshot multiplier as well, so you're going to be frying through enemies pretty quickly with this gun. At number 2, we're moving on into our long range options for Warzone. And we all know that in the most recent update and the update before that, they actually reduced the recoil on the Farah significantly, and I do think they'll actually reduce it even further to make this gun way better at long range. So I do expect a buff to the Farah 83 within the Season 4 update, and that is the reason why I have it second on this list, because I think it's going to be a great option for Warzone, and it has amazing bullet velocity and damage profile. So for the attachments, you're definitely going to use the GRU suppressor for the sound suppression, bullet velocity, and the damage range, and it also helps with recoil control as well, which is really handy at those longer distances. When it comes to the current barrel, we do use the Liberator barrel for the best bullet velocity, but I do believe they will add a barrel that's going to help with bullet velocity as well as recoil control, as well as probably damage range on top of that, because that is the attachments that are missing that the Modern Warfare weapons do have and the Cold War weapons don't. However, if they don't change the barrel attachments, the Liberator barrel is definitely the best option here. Then for the underbarrel, you do want to use the Spetsnaz grip. This is going to control the recoil as best as it possibly can. Ammunition, you do want to go for the Spetsnaz 60 round mag. This doesn't hurt your ADS as much as the VDV 60 round mag, so the Spetsnaz mag is the best option here. And then lastly, you want to choose the Axial 3x optic. This is my personal favourite. You could go for the Royal and Cross if you want a wee bit more zoom, but like I said, the Axial 3x personally for me works really well, and this is the best Farah 83 setup, and if they reduce the recoil a little bit more on this gun, this is going to absolutely fry at long range. And lastly, at number 1, we have the Krig. And the Krig is currently one of the best long-range assault rifles inside Warzone, and if they don't make any changes other than just nerfing the AMAX, I do think the Krig is going to become the number 1 best assault rifle inside Warzone. It has a great damage profile, it also has really low recoil, and with this class setup I'm about to show you, it's going to be able to fry enemies at a distance so easily. So for the muzzle attachments, you want to use that agency suppressor once again for the sound suppression, recoil control, bullet velocity, and damage range. Then at the moment, you do currently want to use the Ranger barrel. Again, this is the best barrel for bullet velocity, which I believe is the most important for long range. But if they do end up adjusting any barrels, you do want to choose the barrel that'll give you bullet velocity, damage range, and recoil control. But currently, the Ranger barrel is the best. Then you do want to use that Field Agent grip to give you the best possible recoil control on this weapon. And then again, similar to the Farah 83, you do want to go for the Stanag 60 round mags, not the last mags, because this hurts your ADS time way too much. Then lastly, you want to choose the Axial Arms 3x optic, which is some of the best optics in the entire game in my opinion. It actually beats out the VLK because it has less of a bezel around it and you can see much more. So like I said, the Axial Arms is a great option here, and this is the best Krig setup, and I do think this gun is going to take over from the AMAX if it does get a nerf. So there you have it. There are 5 weapons that you should start leveling up right now before Season 4 hits, because these are the weapons that are going to take over the meta inside Warzone. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 10,000 subscribers, and click that link in the description and subscribe to our second channel, and thank you very much for watching.